Hello stitchy friends, welcome back to our Christmas stitch along. Today we're going to dive into some diamond thread, and first I want to tell you this is a non-divisible thread, so don't split the strands. You're just going to use it exactly how it comes off the spool or the bobbin if you got the kit. We're going to use a size 5 embroidery needle and just tie our thread knotted at one end, and for these snowflakes we're going to use a straight stitch. All my stitching is going to be crossing over each other to create this little snowflake. Now for Santa Claus, I'm starting with a size 22 chenille needle with 6 strands of my white thread 3865, and I'm also using a straight stitch to add Then just continuing with that same thread and needle, I'm adding a French knot on top of his little hat for the pom-pom. And our last item here is just adding the straight stitch to the bottom of the hat. So now I will turn my hoop over and tie a knot and trim off the excess thread, because we're going to be switching needles and a different color thread. For this next part, I've got 2 strands of my red thread, a size 10 embroidery needle, and I'm going to take this satin stitch at an angle and fill in the top of his hat using the same angle to fill in the entire shape. Now using a horizontal satin stitch, I'm just going to fill in the sleeves of his shirt, and I'll do this for both sides. Now with that same size 10 embroidery needle, I've got 2 strands of my tan yellow thread, and I'm using a horizontal satin stitch to add his face. I had originally planned to add like some French knots for his eyes, but this is so small at the top of the hoop, I just didn't even want to try, so I just ended up leaving his face blank, and I think it looks fine like that. Now I've switched to 2 strands of my white 3865 thread. I'm using another satin stitch to fill in his beard. And I'm also using a satin stitch with that same needle and threads to add the little gloves. Okay, now that our Santa is all filled in, we're going to start with the sleigh. So I'm just adding the bottom here. I've got 3 strands of my dark brown thread. You can use 2 or 3 strands of your dark brown thread with a size 10 embroidery needle, and we're just going to use a back stitch to outline the bottom part here. Now we're repeating that for the top part of the sleigh. I've got 3 strands of my dark red thread and a size 5 embroidery needle, and I'm just using a back stitch to fill in the outline of the top of the sleigh here. And now going back to that size 10 embroidery needle with 2 strands of that dark maroon thread, I'm just going to use a vertical satin stitch to fill in the rest of the sleigh. And if you made it this far, you are like halfway done with the pattern, so way to go. I will see you in the next video when we'll get started on the bottom half of this design with the houses and the snow, and it's gonna be so much fun. Thanks for joining me. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you again soon.